Okay, hello, how are you guys? First of all, thank you very much to all of you to participate on this conference. And also thank you very much, Aaron, to come from Edinburgh to participate. And well, okay, we're going to speak about energizing sales in a chaotic world, okay? I would like to cover some topics, but the most important thing is to have question and answers from your side. And for that, we're going to start with a very briefly introduction about ourselves. Then we go about three different topics. The first, it's about team, segmentation, etc. Then we go in about marketing, funnel, etc. And we just end with the more emotional part and also how we are helping us to build a real hyper growth company.
All right. Well, so Aaron Ross, I'm probably best known for writing a book called Predictable Revenue. And then there's a sequel to that called Impossible to Inevitable, which was done with Jason Lemkin. Has anyone heard of SaaStr? So I know there's the SaaStr going in Barcelona soon. And that really, the book's really like how to create hyper growth. A lot of it was based around working at Salesforce.com in the early days and creating their whole outbound sales motion that helped add an extra 100 million in revenue. I also happen to have 10 children. Fun fact, I know. It's kind of strange. Even I'm like, how did I get 10 children? Like, where did that come from? Well, 5 are adopted. There's 2 from my wife's first marriage and 3 bio kids together. And especially interesting now is that having 10 children and been married for about 10 years, and it's just starting to see now where I want to take that in terms of like content and ideas and teaching. And then thanks, Nacho invited me to pop over here. Last thing, I moved to Scotland with the family 2 years ago, right before COVID. So now it's like there's so many great direct flights to all over Europe. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Aaron. And about myself, I have 2 sides, no? One more professional, one more personal. In my personal side, I'm married. I have 3 amazing kids that you can see there. And I have a second family in my life. It's my team. That is the COVID team. We are 105 employees that we are trying to boost compensation in all the companies, okay? And about my professional experience, I joined in the startup industry almost 10 years ago. I started working in Be Wanted. It's more like a job profile startup. Then I moved to Impass, where I have my best startup experience before COVID. And there I was managing a sales team for Spain, France, and Portugal. And then I joined to Borja and Daniel to fund COVID. That what we are doing is to try to help employees to understand their compensation and also companies to simplify the compensation. No? And about the topics that what we want to cover, it's that the principal topic is that how can build an hyper growth company. No? And for that we're going to cover 3 topics: sales team, design and segmentation, predictable pipeline generation, and emotional smarts to build and hyper sales growth. No? It's true that we are going to do both. The first point I'm going to cover, the second Aaron, and the third one we're going to do both, okay? About sales team and design, the team, I don't know if you can see this picture, but in this picture we have the Spain team that wants the World Cup. And do you know why they won this World Cup? It's because they have the best people for the best positions, no? That means that all of the people that we have in that team, they are covering and some areas that are the best ones, no? And that's why, Aaron, please you can jump in this slide if you want.
Sure. I mean, well, I think one of the big changes in sales team design was going from the old model, which is you'd hire a bunch of salespeople, they would do all their own prospecting, closing, managing customers, try to do everything, which really means doing lots of things not very well. and moving towards a specialized model, which is there's more types of jobs, and they work as a team, like a sports team. So the typical ones in business to business would be responding to inbound leads, outbound prospecting, signing new customers, and everything that happens after the sale, customer success or account management, and having very clearly defined jobs and ways that everyone can work together in harmony. I hope all companies are doing some version of this now, but now with COVID and just the way the future is, it means we need to be even more focused. It tends to be more specialization, more types of jobs, like taking this even further. So again, people can do, in this overwhelming world, fewer things really, really well.
Yeah, yeah, and this focus it's really important, no? To have the right people in the right positions, no? That's why for us and what we are thinking, no? For example, in Kobe and what we are working in Kobe, it's with a very segmented process that we have different type of profiles for different type of sales cycles, no? That means that it's quite different if you want to trade with companies with less than 50 employees, between if you compare the sales cycle or the sales process that you should cover in the large accounts, that are accounts that need 12 months of sales cycle with different decision makers and probably with multi-country decisions, no? And this is very important to have some people that they are very dedicated in the prospecting part, other people that they are specialized to kick the ball to goal, no? And then some people that who loves to take care of customers, no? And sometimes when I am speaking with other chief sales officer or with other companies or entrepreneurs that they would like to have some advice, always I say one thing: it's not big teams. It's more important to have efficiency teams, no? And for example, in Kobe, we have not a lot of people, but the people that we have are very key, and they are the best ones in that positions, no? And that's why that with a very low structure, you can achieve great results, no? And that's why this curve is the curve of Kobe, no? That we are multiplying by 3, by 4 every quarter. We are growing more than 10% month over month because we are having small teams, but very specialized, no? And also with a great process, no? That Aaron can explain.
Yeah, so one of the innovations, and it's been a ways back, this idea that you have to understand different leads are different, right? So a lead is not a lead is not a lead. Again, executives, and I'm not sure how many people here are executives, would be kind of in company planning. The classic mistake would say, all right, we did 10 million in revenue this year with 10,000 leads. So to double the 20 million next year, we need twice as many leads. We need 20,000, which is a huge mistake because, so there's 3 types of leads: the seeds, nets, and spears, right? The seeds would be word of mouth. And so if you have lots of, like, one word of mouth lead could be worth 100 marketing leads, right? The nets are the marketing, casting a wide net. You get lots of leads, but the quality is probably pretty low on average. And the spears are being very targeted with outbound prospecting or business development. So a smaller number of leads, but a better quality per lead. And so they're all important. And the key is not so much even which one should you do, although, again, there are kind of rules of thumb, which is if you're a product company, you generally want to start with outbound. If you're a services company or a platform, or you have a complex, it's hard to explain what you do, you probably want to start with content marketing and marketing. Sorry, back up. Everyone needs to start with customer success. But the key thing is, if you have, no matter what you're doing for lead generation, it's really about the dashboards. It's about the metrics. Right, this was our old car in Los Angeles. All right, if my dashboard didn't work in terms of the speed, the gas, the directions, like I don't know what's working, what's not, I don't know where I'm going. And the same thing with your sales machine. If you don't know what kinds of leads are coming in and what's generating them and what your conversion rates are and your waterfalls, you're flying blind. So to go through each one quickly, right, for the seeds, which would be word of mouth, again, very hard to increase. They're the best, but hard to increase. So really the best way to make them into some sort of repeatable motion is typically having a customer success team or function, right? It's a very focused team on how can we make sure our customers are using the product, getting value from the product, and renewing. And then we're only really targeting and working with the right customers, not more customers, but it's like the right customers. Because the cost of signing up a wrong customer isn't worth it. Now marketing, so this is a marketing funnel, a pretty classic funnel, right? And each type of lead has a different type of set of metrics, conversion rates, process, time frame, average deal size. So for marketing, you might get, again, like the metric lead conversion rate means something in marketing. It doesn't really mean something in outbound prospecting. It doesn't really mean something in typical customer success. So the language per lead is different. And this is why, going back to when you have executives, especially planning for the company's growth, if they don't kind of break apart the types of leads and understand what they're good at now, what they need to be good at in the future, and to have the right kinds of expectations for the future, their plans will be completely off. And the last,
and going back with the segmentation, no, and also with the funnel, it's important that you have a very good segmentation about what type of customers you want to prospect, no, because it's totally different the type of actions of marketing that you should put in place in your company. Obviously, also it's totally different the metrics that you need to manage, no, because it's very different. If you compare big accounts, big accounts usually you need to go more in events, PR, but medium and small, you can do a lot of social media marketing and other type of actions, no? And then,
yeah, so I think one of the common mistakes I see companies make is, even let's say we're getting 1,000 leads from marketing per month. And the executives might say, all right, what's our average qualification rate or conversion rate? Oh, we're getting a 10% conversion rate from new lead to pipeline. Okay, that can still be meaningless, because if you break down all your different campaigns, and if you have 10 or 15 different marketing campaigns, 2 of them might be doing amazing, and 12 might be like, eh. So you just need to get more and more granular or specific with what kinds of even campaigns are generating the right kinds of leads, and which ones are just creating a lot of noise but not actually getting you any results. Last one, outbound, right? This is a classic outbound funnel. This was actually out of the Predictable Revenue book. But again, the metrics and the steps are all different. Okay, so this is a different language. Maybe this is, how do you say, what's the other part, the Castellan?
Castellan.
Okay, so you've got like Spanish, it's different language. I'm mangling this. But the key thing in outbound prospecting is, of course, you typically are measuring activities, and you want to see how many results you get from those activities, like responses or meetings. But usually the big missed, if anyone has outbound here, like how many people here have a company with outbound prospecting team of some kind? There's a few, all right. What generally is missed is not measuring the number of qualified opportunities generated. It's usually how many meetings did we get, how many meetings were scheduled. It's usually around meetings and not about accepted or sales accepted opportunities. That's really the important thing, and that need to be reviewed usually by someone else. So again, this funnel, metrics, and one other thing, an example is with outbound prospecting, usually you want the average deal size of an outbound deal to be like 3 or 5 or 10 times the average size of an inbound deal, because you're specifically going for bigger deals. So again, another example of the spheres, the outbound leads and pipeline will have different metrics than the inbound side and different metrics than the word of mouth side.
Yeah, it's totally true, no? For example, in Kobe, what we are doing is we are having separate both teams. More inbound sales team, it's working with marketing, more aligned, no? And in our case, our outbound strategy, it's very clear with a specialized type of employees, no, for each part of the funnel. And also we are measuring everything, no? We are trying to measure all type of campaigns that we are sending through the top tools that we are using, because we are using SalesLoft, Outreach, we are using Lusa, that are some tools that here in the Spanish market, it's not very common to see people using all of that, but it's important to combine all of these actions that you are doing with metrics to guarantee the efficiency of your teams. If you have metrics, you can have a small team doing probably the double of the business than a huge team that they don't have any metric.
Okay. I got one more example. Who thinks that it's a good thing when your sales win rates go down? Right. Or does anyone think, hey, there's a time you want your average deal size to go down? Okay, I mean, it's not rhetorical, being nice to people, okay. But I'll give you an example. If you're a company and you're trying to increase your outbound pipeline, your win rates should go down because you're going to win fewer deals on outbound than inbound. Okay? If you're in a company that's trying to grow your inbound side, your average deal sizes should go down because you're going to get more smaller deals. So there are times, again, a better win rate is not always a good thing. It's like being smart about what types of leads and deals do we want and what metrics make sense for the kind of growth we want. Okay.
And also success, no? It's sometimes kickers and BDRs and account executives, always they are bringing to them all the glory, no? But it's for me, it's one of the most important department in the sales area, no? That means that for us, for example, customer success, they are doing a better extraction of the value, no, from current clients, while I am ensuring a minimal churn, no? And this is very important, no? Because if you are adding more business or more leads here, but you are not taking care of your customers, probably you are losing money every day. And if you are using, for example, a very good success department, they can expand the account, you can increase your efficiency, and etc. No?
Okay, so let's talk about the future. So what I've seen is that, like, my belief now is that information is basically commoditized. You can find everything's on the internet someplace. You want the best sales process, outbound techniques, marketing techniques, how to lose weight, gain weight, like it's all someplace there on the internet, if you can find it, right? And if you believe it, because there's so much trash out there and disinformation, right? Biased information. I find it's really hard to find information where they're not trying to just sell you something. So we have this world of overwhelm. And we're now into this phase of we don't need better tactics. What we need is really, it's emotional smarts. Because your best leverage for being successful, whether you're an individual and especially an executive or a team, is really not how much time you have, but your energy. Like that's really your bottleneck. We're in a very, it's a very emotionally or mental energy expensive world. So to get leverage is like, how can you apply your energy in the right places, not just work more hours?
Yeah.
So one of the things, the past beliefs was that if I'm an executive, and it's especially important for an executive, because you set the tone for your team. And you kind of feel like, oh, if I get to be a vice president or a CEO or a CSO, I need to make sure I need to have a plan. I need to know it all. I need to have my team be confident. Even though lots of days I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And that's true, right? Does anyone here know what you're doing every day? Like, I know what I'm doing every day. I have no doubt. I never worry. I mean, some days you have like that, but most days, if anyone's a parent who has kids, same thing. And so starting to let go of, you know what? I can't know it all. It's impossible. I know, here's the things I know really well, and if I don't know it, I'm okay to admit that and to ask for help. I mean, a lot of executives feel like they can't ask for help because it's embarrassing. Like, I should know it all. Like, I can't look weak. And that is weak to not ask for help.
Yeah, and this is great because 6 months ago, I remember, 1 year ago, when we started to have the mentorship together, one day I called him and I said, I am feeling very stressed now because I think that I need to be the best one in terms of metrics, in terms of analysis, in terms of marketing, in terms of all the areas, of everything. And I remember perfectly that he told me that, Nacho, do you want to continue with this advisory? And I said, yes. And he told me, you cannot be the best one in everything. And I said, oh, wait. And at the same time, he advised me.
I don't remember this at all, but great.
Yeah, I remember. I remember. And you told me that it's important to surround to people who are the best in all the parts of the sales process, no? And at that time, it's when I hired one RevOps to look more for the analysis part, to help me with the investor board presentation and all the stuff, no? And also, we would like to finish, no, the presentation and go to the Q&A, but are things that probably Aaron shared, but because I know it that he shared with me, but that's the things or the key things that help me to build an hyper-growth company, you know, because I know that probably most of you know about COVID here in the Spanish and Portuguese market, and now we are looking for other geographies, but are the keys that helping me, no? And the first thing is surround yourself with people better than you, and if that's the case, I think it's my case, no? That's why I contact Aaron to help me with the mentorship. I recommend you, if you want, you can contact him and speak with him, okay? Also, surround of the best sales team members, no? I have great partners in my team, like Joaquin, for example, like is there, who helped me with all the account executive. He started to work with me 6 years ago in Gympass, and now he's helping me. Sergio, Emilio, and other people, no? And also surround you with sales advisors with other companies, no? The second thing is, don't forget that you have been a BDR or account executive or CS agent, no? That means that it's true that now probably you are CEO, you are executive of a company, but when you was young, you like that your CEO listened to you properly, that learn about your team, no? That it's important, no? Third thing, and Aaron mentioned, no? Data decision, it's important.
Usually.
Usually.
There are exceptions.
You need to combine.
Okay, so yeah, I think the exception is you can't be dependent on data, because sometimes if someone is like, I'm only making decisions on data, okay, are you scared to make decisions if you don't have data?
Of course.
So it's using it, but not being afraid to, you can't always have data all the time.
Yeah, agree. And train teams, no? Train the teams, be close to your teams, be hands-on and help them, and try to be very close to the business, because when you move far to the business, usually you lose the perspective about what is happening with your product, what is the feedback of the clients, and etc. But also, and it's very important to balance with a personal perspective, no? In my case, I am Catholic. I love to base in 3 pillars: God, my family, and my friends, no? And also, second point is to try to, I am here, I am very lucky to be here, and also it's thanks to Borja, Dani, and all the team, but I think that we need to share our knowledge and to try to help other people, and that's why I love to help entrepreneurs, okay? Have time for yourself, no? Have time, because all of you guys are high potential or high performance people, and you need to have time for you, play sport, hobbies, relax, have time, disconnect, and this is very important.
What's your weird habit?
My weird habit is to drink wine and to eat a lot. That's why I am fat.
What's
no?
your weird habit?
No,
I'm coming back to Madrid in a few weeks for the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship in Valladolid. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I'm not that good at them, but anyone can sign up. So I'm like, I'll try it.
No, but my weird habit, I think so, it's to...
And having kids is a weird habit.
Yeah. It's having kids.
A lot of kids, yeah.
And also, the organization told me that we have 5 minutes. I think that it's time to your questions. If you have any question, please, it's a good moment to throw it.
All right, we got a hand here.
We have a microphone if you want.
Oh, here's the mic.
Yeah.
Is it on?
It's on.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, now.
Okay. You said that there should be a specific sales team and customer success team. But at the start, it's usually sales team first, right? Before we create our customer success team. So when do you think, or what kind of traction are we looking forward before we create our customer success team?
It's a very good question. From my point of view, I cannot give you a number, an exactly number, but we have created when we had 30 clients in our current base, and it's true that we developed that department at the end of this year right now we have 500 clients. It's true that in the end of last year, we had just one people doing all of this stuff.
Yeah, a lot of companies have someone by the time they're even 5 or 10 or 15 people.
Yeah.
So it depends on how much of a challenge is it for you.
Yeah, our current team, it's five people doing CS. Thank you.
Okay, we got another question.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Nacho. One question. In this hypergrowth strategy, how is the role of automation? How do you think, how kind of automation and what is the percentage of helping your team with automating stuff?
Yeah. For example, for inbound, it's very clear our conversion rate is 30%, 35% right now, and everything is automated in terms of when the lead enters in our funnel. We have nurturing machines that help us to the inside sales to receive a hot lead, but also for the outbound perspective, we have a BDR team that they are using an automation tools like Salesloft, Salesforce, etc. And we are having now a 50% of conversion rate between touch account, more than 50%, touch to opportunity validated.
That's very high. Okay?
Yeah, okay, here.
Hello. So how long does the sales cycle last between lead to close sale?
Here we have, let me go back for, it depends on, no? It depends on the segment that you are trading, no? It depends on the annual contract value that you are prospecting. But if you prospect, for example, small deals, now we are in less than a month. We are in less than 50 days sometimes. But if you go for large, it's 12 months. And this average sales cycle comprehends the touch account, between touch account to one. One means implemented, the service.
From your experience, someone that is very good at sales will be very good also at customer success, or normally there are two different kind of people of profiles?
I don't know if you want, if not, I can jump.
No, they can be, because, well, again, there's so many types of teams of customer success, right? It's like, if someone likes meat, are they gonna like vegetables? Well, they might, but there's lots of customer success teams that are very like sales, like the culture is very sales driven. Sometimes it's not the case, so it really depends on if you want a sales driven customer success team, like upgrades and cross sells and renewals. Sales can be a great path to that, because there's lots of people in sales who don't want to stay there. They might want to do account management or work with customers. So yes, it depends on the culture you want to build on that customer success side.
Yeah, for example, in our case, we have two areas inside of customer success. We have some roles more focused on implementation and to take care of clients, but we have other people that also take care, but they are more focused on upselling, cross-selling.
Specialization.
Yeah, exactly. I think for me, the key idea in all the presentation, it's specializations means focus. If you have people specialized for each role and for each segment, you have success, probably.
Yeah, I think today too, especially trying to find out what different people are good at, so you can try to put the right person in the right job, right, and not have the right person in the wrong job. Is that one more, or is that it? Good. Okay, well,
One more?
is there one more?
One more? No.
All right.
Okay, right. Thank you very much for your attention. And it was a very pleasure to have you here, Aaron.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to come with me, and also to all of you to participate and for all of your questions. We will be here
Hanging
a
out.
little bit of time, and if you want, we can share some time to solve more doubts and whatever, okay?